Hello there, duelists, and welcome back to Industrial Illusions. It's me, Pegasus, and we are today going to be looking at the Millennium-Eyes Restrict deck. That's right, guys. One of the most popular videos on my channel was my Toon deck from a couple months ago, a very popular installment in the series. And that means I'm going to put you guys through more Pegasus voice, because today we're going through one of his other decks, the Millennium-Eyes Restrict deck. If you aren't familiar, Pegasus is mostly known for using tunes. However, in his final boss battle against Yugi in Duelist Kingdom, his ace is not a tune monster, but rather Thousand Eyes Restrict. And of course, Relinquished plays a factor in that as well. And as a child, I remember going to the store and getting a structure like Pegasus and getting a Relinquished. It was a big part of my childhood. And obviously for competitive players, Thousand Eyes Restrict was big as well, but I was 5. I'm not going to try and tell you I was good back then. But regardless, the point is that Thousand Eyes and Relinquished are a core piece of Pegasus' identity, even if it's not as synonymous as, say, tunes are. And Konami has identified this as a new wave of Millennium-Eyes support that was released a few years ago. It's not anything groundbreaking, but it is incredibly cool. And I wanted to show you guys a unique build of playing the deck that I really enjoy. So with that being said, let's talk about the deck. So the first thing to go over is, I keep calling it a Millennium-Eyes deck. That's because we no longer have 1,000 eyes. We're fancy now. We're Latin. We're Roman. We're now Millennium-Eyes. Same thing, but better. So this card, if you aren't familiar, is good in other decks as well, because it is pretty generic and the instant fusion target, especially for the TCG. What it is a level 1 fusion that requires Relinquished plus 1 effect monster. That immediately makes it leagues better than Thousand Eyes, which requires a goddamn Thousand Eyes idol, which is a useless vanilla. And what it does is once per turn, when your opponent activates a monster effect, quick effect, so either player's turn, you can target an effect monster in your opponent's graveyard or on their field and equip it. And it gains attack and defense, and monsters with that equipped monster's original name cannot attack, and their effects in the field are negated, and activated effects are negated. So yeah, the reason to do this is essentially a call by the grave stuff, right? You steal a monster in the field of the grave, and even if they already activated it, it's just negated, which is really good. And it works in the grave as well. So why you'd use this in other decks is you can instant fusion out Millennium-Eyes and it would act as called by the grave. That's just really good. And you note that unlike Relinquished or Thousand Eyes, this can suck up multiple monsters. Even if it's once per turn, that means over the course of several turns, that's kind of nasty. Now you rarely see this card live multiple turns in Yu-Gi-Oh! Because the ideal summoning method for this card is instant fusion. However, when you actually play a Relinquished deck, this card is not hard to summon. And it gets to stick and lives multiple turns, and it becomes quite a menace. This card is going to be the central theme of the deck. And while there are many other cards that are important to talk about, Millennium-Eyes is the focal point. Now, before I start discussing other cards, I do want to tell you guys, there's a lot of them I don't play. They are pretty bad, even by the standards of when they were released, which is semi-modern Yu-Gi-Oh! They weren't good. So I play the ones that are actually good and can be used synergistically with other engines to make Millennium-Eyes something efficient to summon. Now, Millennium-Eyes is very flexible in terms of summoning requirements, and that's why many decks can get access to it. It also has a very powerful fusion spell, and that is the next card we play, Relinquished Fusion, which summons an Eyes Restrict fusion monster from your extra deck by banishing the materials from your hand, field, or graveyard. And then also, during your main phase, you can banish the card from your grave, target an effect monster from controls, and equip it to your Eyes Restrict as if it were equipped by that monster's effect. So it negates their cards, it sucks up their monsters. It's a quick play spell, so you make Thousand Eyes on either player's turn, or Millennium-Eyes, pardon me, I don't want to make Thousand Eyes, stupid ass card. But yeah, Millennium-Eyes, just muy bien. As well as the problem with Millennium-Eyes is if your opponent doesn't activate a monster effect, you can't be aggressive with it, you can't be offensive. And while that is a serious issue for the card, this amends it as it gives you a way to clear the field proactively, as well as build up attack with the Millennium-Eyes so that it can become a threat, not just some 0/0 weenie. And beyond that, I'm only playing one other new support card from the Relinquished package, and that is Millennium-Eyes Illusionist. This card is a quick effect to discard itself and then target one effect monster your opponent controls. Equip it to any Eyes Restrict fusion or Relinquished you control. That's it. Easy. As well as if an Eyes Restrict fusion monster or Relinquished is summoned, add this card from graveyard to your hand. For some reason, it's not optional, and it makes you know that by bracket saying this is not optional. But why the hell would I ever not want to do that? I don't get it. Either way, it's great because it's a constant flow of removal, and it again gives you an ability to be proactive. Unfortunately, it's level 2, so you ironically can't make Relinquished Anima with it, which can be kind of nice sometimes. But this card is great, and if you're able to put it in the grave via any sort of methods that aren't, super straightforward, you get it back. And it's just a great card. Now, beyond that, we've also got the OG Relinquish in this deck. This card is important as a fusion material, as well as it ironically can be used to break through fields or set up combos, and to see what I mean once I get into the actual gameplay and deck profile. And if you are familiar with this card, it's a light version of Thousand Eyes, or Millennium-Eyes. You ritual summon with Black Illusion Ritual, which does nothing. It's a ritual spell that just rituals from the hand by distributing. Very classic OG ritual spell. I'm not even going to bother reading it, you guys. Relinquish's effect is once per turn, target monster controls and equip it. Attack and defense become equal, and this card will be destroyed by battle. You can destroy the equipped monster instead. And then while equipped, your opponent takes any damage. It's fine. It's a fine card. Playing this into a field is like pretty neg for card economy, but it like you get there on the fact of like it's mostly used as fusion material, and when you do ritual summon it usually does other things along the way to make it worthwhile. Although obviously I'm not going to try and cope and tell you guys Relinquish is a playable card. It's scratching the bottom of the barrel in terms of playability, but you need it for synergistic reasons, not because Relinquish is good. Now beyond that, there are other Millennium cards like the Millennium-Eyes Idol and Millennium-Eyes Faceless Mage, which I have not included in this deck because they're all just conditional and don't actually contribute anything towards summoning Thousand Eyes Restrict or Millennium-Eyes Restrict. At that point, why play it? Nor do I play Thousand Eyes Restrict because it's just strictly worse than Millennium-Eyes and requires a goddamn vanilla to summon it. So although it seems like I've gone kind of light on my Millennium cards here, the intent is clear. I am building a deck that spams Millennium-Eyes Restrict as fast and as quickly and as often as possible, and that's it. And that means not playing the cards that don't do that. And Thousand Eyes Idol does like nothing. It literally just does nothing to help the Millennium-Eyes deck. So you'll see what I'm talking about. And, if you want to read those cards, I'll throw them up one more time on screen here. With a quick read, but let's move on. Okay, so now this is the deck list that I'm playing. It is a Millennium-Eyes tier deck, and this is becoming a somewhat frequent occurrence on the channel where tier becomes a commonly splashed engine in my decks. I mean, there's a reason for it. Tier is a very flexible archetype. Nothing's locking you, and in decks that lack a good normal summon, the tier cards are good normal summons. So if a deck lacks a normal summon and uses the graveyard, guess what works well with that? Tier. So we're playing tier. But it also goes further than that because Millennium-Eyes, we'll give it another quick read, says Relinquished and an effect monster. So if you send a tier to grave and you have either Relinquished or King of the Swamp in the grave, you can fuse for Millennium-Eyes. That's so obviously good. I see other people build this deck and not include this synergy, and I scratch my head. I'm like, why would I polymerization from my hand neg 3 into Millennium-Eyes when I could do this? So this is what we did. We're playing tier cards. King of the Swamp helps fill you out with more copies of Relinquished, as well as Poly, which can be aggressively used. Preparation Rites adds Relinquished. You can keep fusing with it, as well as Black Illusion Ritual. Now, a cool thing with Black Illusion Ritual is ritual summoning counts as tributing for effect. So if you're going to tribute a monster from the hand or field that has a graveyard effect, like a tier monster, it actually triggers. And that's super cool because it lets you play through hand traps and disruption pretty well. As well as, I mean, Super Poly is very good because Super Poly plus Relinquished on field lets you suck up anything, or the King of the Swamp. As well as if you ritual summon your Millennium-Eyes before normal summoning like a Rhino Heart, that Valor or Impermanence, and you have Super Poly or Millennium-Eyes Fusion, you can dodge it, which is super cool. So that's how this deck all kind of comes together to be a really cool piece of art. Beyond that, it's just some standard tier cards and board breakers because that's kind of the route we were already going. Talents make sense as well. You steal more of their cards, suck it up. And yeah, the extra deck's filled out with all your Super Poly targets, tier cards, a couple extra deck cards. And the only one that's really worth noting that's important is Anaconda. Anaconda can stand Relinquish Fusion, which just fuses for anything. So it's more Millennium-Eyes. I shouldn't have to tell you guys that that's an awesome combo. It really requires like almost no work. So yeah. But it's time for me to stop nerding about my love of tier, love of snow, and the love of all the synergies that exist. And it's time to put the Pegasus hat back on, rather my Millennium-Eye back on. And the thousands of possibilities, all the futures will reveal themselves. Because it's time to duel. And yes, now that I'm talking in my Pegasus voice, you'll have to endure it for the entire video. Enjoy. Now, before we get into the duels, if you're enjoying this series, please consider liking and subscribing. As well, if there's any decks you want to see me take a look at in the future, I'll be happy to. Or if you just want to see more Pegasus voice, that's okay. Also, I know my accent is terrible. That is all. Okay. How are we going to start this game? 48 cards in their deck. Interesting. First off, normal summon Telement Rhino Heart. Effect. Seems they have nothing. Good, because my hand is not great. Effect. Fuse. It resolves. Perfect. I'm just going to go K-Close Mill 10, I think, right? Or... Actually... Yeah, let's K-Close Mill 10. The other play I could do is add Sharon, summon Sharon, then Super Poly myself. Which isn't bad. It's actually not bad. But I'm not going to do that. Add to hand. Nope, mill 2 cards. What are they playing with 48 cards? Yeah, that's not the worst. And then summon out. Okay, hopefully I mill like a Sulic or Shufflers, tier cards would be great. Scream would be good. A lot of good mills. Medora's good. And that's it. Okay, just Medora's not really what I wanted. Okay, I'll have to do. And I guess we'll pass turn. All right, your turn, Duelist. What do you have in store for Pegasus? Millennium. Millennium is a scary deck. Very scary deck. Visa's Starfrost. Or Visa Samsara, rather. Interestingly, I think I can actually super poly this because this is a water. I can make a a mud dragon, which is really cool. You've fallen for my trap card. Super polymerization. I get to mill 2 cards with tier cash, and I get to use Snow to book this, which is actually really good. If I mill a tier card, I think I win on the spot as well. It's not what I meant, but sure. And I'm gonna activate Snow as well here. Banish Uno. Ooh, I actually don't have that many cards to banish. Banish this. Easy. Now the next one is hard. I have enough Aquas Grave. Yeah. Okay. And I can book this. He's not going to be able to link it off. Question is, do I go for Havness off of the Sulic? No call by is nice. It means I can be a bit safer. Or do I go for follow up? I think I go for Havness because I'm low-key like super okay if he passes, because Anaconda will trigger the Millennium-Eyes to add back again. I gotta suck up his field. Like I'm like super okay. Vanadium, okay. Not Vanadium. Centur-ion. Interesting. I'm happy I got the Havness. Start cross out. Interesting. Vaudeo. Okay. Handle this. Let's see, these are the ability. They are. Okay. So Havness ability. Because they're going to probably go Primera and then into Wake Up. Is this Wake Up? No, Stand. Yeah, Wake Up. The one that summons a token. 3. That does not work. Okay. Okay, that's fine. That's fine. So I guess make it 12 here, which is a little annoying. There's not much I can do about it. Gargoyle. Oh, that is significantly worse than the spell. Because now they have to send off either the continuous or the field. Yeah. Okay. I'll live with that. That's honestly not that bad. When he synchros here, I'll be faced with the decision of, do I use Medora or do I hold it? Because he gets to add back the Gargoyle. I think the Gargoyle is really insignificant, so I'm not gonna do anything about it. Auxilla, yeah, I think I just chill. Auxilla places from where that is banished from your grave. So yeah, if I shuffle back all Centur-ion cards, in theory, it could invalidate essentially everything he does. However, I think that's greedy. And again, I just need to make sure I see the next turn and I feel pretty good. Because I have talents for any disruption. I have Snow. It's also pushed through things as well. I'm not that down bad. The Phalanx is annoying, but yeah. I think this is overall fine. They get to attack the Mud Dragon. And cool. Leo. I probably will banish or shuffle the grave in the end phase to stop this from putting cards in rotation. But yeah, well, it means that the Gargoyle's in their hand. It's no difference. Just guarantees a little more safety for me. replace, and I'm going to chain Medora. And I'm also going to put back cards I think I want to draw. So let's put these back, obviously. And what card do I want to draw here? Just a Millennium Fusion, probably. I mean, Relinquish Fusion. Yeah, I think I'm good at that. Relinquish Fusion off the top would be awesome. Okay, let's go. We got this. Draw Rhinoheart. That is a fantastic top deck. How do I want to go about this? Kiklos is in my grave, so it's not going to like make Kit, which would be like the obvious best thing. Yeah, dump Sharon. And then Sharon effect. I get to fusion summon for the Millennium-Eyes restricts. I can see your future. It looks bleak. Crap. Okay, I can go back. I almost put in defense mode by mistake. Back to return to hand. I already normal summon, otherwise I have a cool cross sheet play. Phalanx. Do I chain just to kill this? Probably. It puts it in the grave though, so he can revive it, which I'm not a huge fan of. Yeah, I think it's worth it. Let's slurp that monster. It's equipped. And then banished until the next turn, which is fine. It's fine. Cross Sheep is ironic because it comes back. I can revive another monster. Not that there's anything I really want to revive in there. What are the stats on that Samsara? I do need to pay attention to that because I have to attack over that. Samsara is 20. Why the hell is it 2100? Okay, so what do I want to do? Siri, Alexa, stop. Alexa thought I was asking, what do I want to do with my life? That's crazy that it responded to that, by the way. Right? Like, surely I'm not alone in thinking that's a crazy response. So if I attack that, he gets the revive with the trap, which is the problem, right? Oh, you only use one effect per turn. So I just attack with Redoer. It feels so wrong, but yeah, I think this is the best play. Okay. So battle, and I get 1600 in here, which is like, yeah, it's nothing. It's really not anything. And then attack. And then I'm gonna go Anaconda, I think. Or do I go? Oh no, I don't actually definitely go Cross Sheep. Cross Sheep is way better because I get to revive the Rhinoheart and make a second thing. Yeah. Okay, I see the goo in us. I see the goo in us. Bluff set. No, he knows my hand, so it doesn't really accomplish anything. It's time for your turn. I get back the restrict. It's gonna use this first, which is a little annoying, but it's fine. We're gonna get a search now. I mean, defense mode is a choice. I'll give him that much. Now return. Wait. He picked the zone and chose. Wait, he picks the zone? I thought I picked the zone. And he chose the Cross Sheep zone. It appears I'm an idiot, but my opponent is an even bigger one. Special summon back the Rhinoheart, and then effect again. What do I want to make here? I think I'll just make another Millennium-Eyes. Fusion summon another Millennium-Eyes restrict. Your days are numbered. Normal summon. That looks quite tasty. I think I'll make it mine. Suck. Guys, do I have a problem? I think I might have a problem. But it's okay, because I am Pegasus. Pegajesus. The tier element Millennium-Eyes master. Gargoyle. You think I'm scared of a gargoyle? Oh, Julius. Think. Oh, see, Cross Sheep. Your own Cross Sheep. How interesting. What the fuck is that card? Special summon one monster 15 to 21 from your grave. Shuffle a Visas and 4 of the monsters. What the hell? I've never seen that in my life. Summon back the Visas. Continue onwards, my fellow duelist. I assure you, you'll accomplish very little in this world. As long as I am in it to stop you. No effect, you say? Interesting. Link, summon, silhouette rabbit. Effect? Oh, no, I will negate that, actually. Your rabbit belongs to me. Goodbye. Your soul is mine. I love this deck. Hello there, Yuri boy. I cannot help but notice that you chose for me to go first. That must mean you're on Tenpai. But of course I knew that thanks to my Millennium-Eye. Okay. So yeah, obviously versus this deck, we want to make as good of a field as we can on the first turn. So let's add Connect to hand. Doesn't look like there's going to be a Maxi or an Ash, which I'm thrilled about. We'll send Triva Karma. I'm going to get grief off this. Grief, right? Yeah. Back special from the deck. Element Rhino Hearts, my favorite Millennium-Eyes monster. Let me use the effect Diffuse. I'm gonna get rid of the Sulik. And yes, now I get to search from neck to hand, and I'm gonna grab. I'm gonna use this too. I'm gonna get Sharon, I think. Imperm. This is not the correct Imperm target, by the way, guys. But yeah. Okay, from deck to hand, I'm going to grab. I'm gonna go Tier Cash. Next, I'll activate Black Illusion Ritual. Ritual summon relinquish, tributing Element Haveness. Now, I get to fusion summon using Haveness in the graveyard. My ritual fusion combination is working. I'm gonna make Kikalos here because, yep, I can still make later. I'm gonna add effect. Let's get a screen from neck to hand. That's just a second impermanence. There is not. So that's pretty good. Hand. To activate this. Activate Tournament Kashtira. Hopefully I don't banish all my relinquish fusions in the grave. What I'm gonna do here. Yeah, I don't play Matter Noise. I mean Heartbeat, so I don't want to put that in grave. I'm gonna not use the effect. This technically is really bad in the Bell, but I don't think he plays Bell, so if I get belled, I'm like F. I mean, it's not actually the end of the world if I get belled. I look at his hand and then I make send relinquish fusion, mill 3 still, but like obviously it's worse. And now effect special summon and mill 11 more cards. 1 and 2 and 3. Hopefully I don't mill all my relinquish fusions. I need to keep 1 in my deck. But we should be good. 3. That's Sharon we haven't used. Perfect. Mill 3 more of my own. Relinquish fusion, sure. And okay. Effect Diffuse. So I didn't mill any of the other Millennium-Eyes monster. Let me get. That would let me add back. What do I want? Rulkalos or Millennium-Eyes? Probably just Rulkalos. I'm already getting Millennium-Eyes off this, and I don't need multiple. Multiple's nice, but I don't think I need it. So yeah, let's do that. It's back. Probably should summon in defense, but whatever. And then let's go effect. Sending relinquished fusion. Then I get to fusion summon Millennium-Eyes Restrict. Manage this, and Mare doesn't matter. Yeah, actually, maybe I need the Aqua Engrave. I should have. It doesn't matter. Do I set a bluff face down, or do we call it a turn here? I think we just call it a turn here. Your turn, Yuri boy. Your Tenpai days are limited. The biggest threat will be if they have the Tenpai field spell. But if they have Pydra, well then, Millennium-Eyes Restrict deals with that quite handily. But of course I know their hand. And I predict they don't have Millennium Sangen summoning. Impermanence. I didn't even see what it targeted. Millennium-Eyes Restrict. How sad. Yeah, they have Pydra. Or Door. But I'm gonna guess it's Pydra. How predictable, duelist. But it's okay. Tournament Scream. We'll mill 3 more cards. Mill me some snows. Medora. It's not the worst. It's quite an interesting predicament. Yep, nothing here. Already have Chandra. That's not what I want to see. I mean, I'll let this one go through because there's no guarantee they have a Genroku left in the deck. They may have already drawn it. Well, that's going to tell me. I'm going to have to negate Genroku, unfortunately. That's what he goes for. Red reboot. Oh, duelist. Yep, have to do this. Otherwise, they make the level 10 synchro. And I'm effed. Destroy it. I'm going to destroy the tier cache to mill 2 more cards. Fairy Tale Snow. Does that save me? Oh, no, grief. Trusty Fairy Tale Snow. Always count on you to try and save the day. I think it actually does save me. Or at least I will try. I'm in. Yep. That's what I figured the last card was. Alas, nothing I can do about it. Get Fadra. Okay. But now, they messed up. They shouldn't have done this. Because I have Fairy Tale Snow. Get rid of this off the field because the shit's a liability. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That. My ultimate ace monster. Maybe I should have summoned this in attack mode. No, I want them to kill this. Target your Chandra. And if you are dumb enough to put that card into your graveyard, then you will suffer a very troublesome fate. Oh, my Yugi boy Yuri. You're about to realize how royally you've messed up. Your Bident effect matters not to me, as I activate my Ashizu cards. Medora. Return it to the deck. All of these, in fact, shall go no longer at your disposal for Fadra. That's okay, Yuri boy. We all make mistakes. It seems you've just made a grave one. And of course, I knew that was there. I knew you'd make a mistake, and I knew I'd mill the Fairy Tale Snow. What shall you do now? The snow in my graveyard once more? Why, thank you, duelist. I shall make quite good use of it. If they make Transcendent Dragion, they can revive the Bident and then pop the field spell, attack over Rulkalos. And it actually will be kind of annoying. Because I don't have follow-up as a given yet. Which I'm not too thrilled about. Effect Diffuse. Snow will not help me here. Yep, have to let it go through. Trident Dragon, if I go for that for some reason, is not going to win them the game. That is Sangenpai, Transcendent Dragon. How unfortunate. I cannot use my Keldo at this time. You're safe for now. And my Rulkalos will go to the graveyard. Oh. 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 That doesn't work the way they... Hello? It seems you forgot about my monster once again. Return to the deck once more. So now you have nothing. Goodbye, Yuri boy. Okay, duelist. It's time for a show. Ooh, we're going up against Millennium again. Interesting. Our hand is okay. I wouldn't call it great, but we got the job done. Wait, was that an Orcust monster they just summoned? Pourquoi? So this is like a full-on pile deck, some Orcust pile. The Medora should be very good into that, which is nice. It depends how good the rest of the stuff is going to be. If I can draw a good card for turn, I feel a lot more confident, but let's wait and see. Okay, so doesn't have a target. This seems like a very neg board for them. Yeah, this seems like they may have a really, really bad hand. So I'll take that. Because if this is not Millennium, it's actually not Millennium. This is definitely Scareclaw. This is actually just pure Scareclaw with Orcust cards. But at that point, why didn't they not get Rykart? I guess they just didn't. They drew both this and this. That's a shame. That does suck for them. Why do they even play Visas though at that point? I guess if they draw multiple cards, they get to go. I don't know. I think this is a weird play. But yeah, this is Orcust. So let's see what they'll do to us. Medora here will be MVP. But we're looking at multi-relinquished action or Guardian Chimera. Obviously, I'll wait until I see what they do before I make a decision. Because, for example, if there's Dengirsu on their field, my Guardian Chimera will do nothing. Yeah, and we'll see if they go for Crescendo or they go for Babble. Babble. We'll see if this blows up. Nope, Crescendo. Okay, so probably going to use Poly then to go into Chimera. Would be ideal. Hopefully I just draw an extender and it becomes even. Becomes a tuner. Why does that becoming a tuner matter? Locked in the darks, so it shouldn't. They're making level 8 synchro. Level 8 synchro dark. Why would they make this threatening? I'm about to get scared. Like, I'm about to get absolutely destroyed and I have no idea what's coming. Dang. Okay, but they need an Orcust link now, so this isn't a concern. Unless this just turns into Galatea again. Which is like what I think is going to happen, but I don't know. Even with my Millennium-Eye, I lack the foresight to deal with this. This doesn't make sense. Is there something he hasn't used? He hasn't used. Okay. Never mind. This makes sense. Link summon for. That's not a Link monster. It's a Borrowed Savage Dragon. Was this really worth it over the Babble? I know you wouldn't have been able to get a tuner, but there's no way this is better than just making Galatea there and having Crescendo. This does nothing. Interesting choice, my friend. Draw Trivi Karma. That's pretty bad. Yeah. I said I wanted a good card. So what am I doing here? I mean, Poly should just force it, right? Forces this. No, not really. Normal summon the Medora or normal summon King of the Swamp. Ugh, no. I'm just gonna go Poly Raw. I'm gonna make Millennium-Eyes. I'm not gonna make what's it called? Activate polymerization. Negate. How sad. I mean, it's just this. Oh god, discard from hand feels so poo. But alas, I kind of like options. All right. Millennium-Eyes Fusion. You know, my hand is sort of lacking element cards. Ironically, a second polymerization here would have been a huge help, but I'm not blessed with choice right now. Gonna chain, okay. Chaining here actually is really good for them. SP, yeah. Millennium-Eyes, get rid of Relinquished and King of the Swamp. The problem is now they're going to go effect to banish. And I just chain. They're targeting Poly and Grave. Hello? Okay. Did they misclick? Effect to suck up? What do they have in the grave? I have 3 graveyard effects exactly. I can banish all 3 graveyard effects. They should chain SP here, then I'll chain back. Why did they not chain? I guess it doesn't make a difference, but I'll happily play along. Battle face. Pew, pew. And then let's go effects, right? And just rip apart their grave now. Let's get rid of this, this, and this. Say goodbye to your graveyard. Okay. It's not a great position for me. I really only have relinquished, but on my Millennium-Eyes restrict. But it's not great if he has a beater. Literally just a beater. And Harp Horror is bigger than this. I think I should have gone battle phase and used Millennium Fusion just to get this stuck on field before the IP. And I got greedy, right? Is this... Oh, come on. It's only in the main phase, right? Oh, no, it's not. You own Fusion Summons main phase. Not a... God damn, that's a bad draw. I'm gonna pass so I can draw, like, Grief and it'd be live. Hopefully he's bricked as well. That card is fine. Imperm is annoying, but it's fine. He's debating setting a monster, I think, right now. Because if I top that, yeah, playable card. It's rough. Oh, it's annoying. Come on. Give me a good card. That's fine. That's fine. Let's see if it's Maxi, not Ash. Hopefully it's Maxi. Ash. I don't want to use this on an Ash. So, end turn. That feels wrong. That feels wrong. Okay, so they have Ash, Crescendo, random set, which could be anything. 2 unknowns. It's rough, but to be fair, they're facing down the same thing, right? I have 3 in hand that is a lot of nonsense. Also want Terror Top. No effect. They don't want to play into this, which means that's not Imperm, right? That's Call By, which would fuck this. But I'll let them play. They can't make an Orcus Link. If they make an Orcus Link, then it would screw me. But I'd let them commit cards. I'm not sure what they're playing. Is it Cherubini they're gonna make, or play Dante ever? Dante doesn't do anything. Yeah, I don't care about this. Enchantress. Okay, so I go effect, and I'm gonna target the Enchantress, not the Cherubini. I'll put in the Crescendo column, I guess. Sure, you're bigger. So am I. Yeah, I don't think that had the effect they thought it did. That was actually very good for me now. Draw, relinquish fusion. And that's it, duelists. You've been sucked up. It's quite impressive, don't you think? The power to fuse for powerful monsters is within my control, even more so than the average tier element duelist. All right, I'll stop. It's like off. That's the deck, guys. I have a lot of fun with tiers. Obviously, I love this deck, and the Millennium-Eyes cards have a lot of different, but also cool synergies that you don't normally get in other tier variants. So I have a lot of fun playing different iterations of my favorite decks, and especially fusing that with the love of Pegasus. Even though Toons is the deck of Pegasus I really like, this is super cool as well. And hopefully you can see how well this all synergizes together. And while this may not seem super obvious, it's cohesive. So I urge you guys to give it a try. Once again, guys, if you want to see me play a certain deck in the future, you know what to do. Comments below. Just tell me what you want to see. I promise one day we will get to your recommendations. There's just a lot of different decks to duel with. And with that, duelists, I must bid you adieu. Ciao.